In this video, we're going to be taking a look at how we can use multiplication to help us solve division problems. Okay, now the essential question that we are going to be answering is how can the strategy draw a diagram help you solve division problems by writing a multiplication sentence. Now you will need to turn your Go Math books to page 343, get out your math journal and your pencil. Now let's take a look at that problem on page 343. The first thing we need to do, obviously, is read the problem. So it says, Erica makes 6 submarine sandwiches. Out here in Pennsylvania, people may call them hoagies, and cuts each sandwich into thirds. How many 1/3 size sandwich pieces does she have? Now the first thing we need to figure out, and I do want you to write this down in your Go Math books, is you need to figure out what do you need to find. Okay, oftentimes that's going to be right in that final question there. Okay, what do we need to find? We need to find the number of 1/3 size sandwich pieces Erica has after she cuts 6 sandwiches into thirds. Okay, then after that, what information are we going to use? Okay, and we need to use the size of each piece of sandwich and the number of sandwiches she cuts. Okay, now how will you use that information? Okay, so, well, before, what information will we use? The size of each piece is 1/3 piece of each sandwich. Okay, and then 6 total submarine sandwiches. How we'll use the information? What we're going to do is draw a diagram to organize the information from the problem. Then we can use that organization to find the number, and I want you to write all this in. Find the number of 1/3 size sandwich pieces Erica has after she cuts 6 sandwiches. Okay, now we can see the solve the problem on the right hand side. So it says since Erica cut 6 submarine sandwiches, the diagram needs to show 6 rectangles to represent the sandwiches. I think that's pretty obvious. And what you need to do is divide each of the 6 rectangles into thirds. Okay, so each rectangle is into thirds. Why is it into thirds? Because we know that within our problem that the submarine sandwiches were cut into 1/3 sizes. Okay, and so what we see here, to find the total number of thirds in the 6 rectangles, we can multiply the number of thirds in each rectangle by the number of rectangles. Okay, so for example, we see number of thirds, 1, 2, 3 thirds. Okay, and we have 6 total rectangles. Alright, so we'll take 6 total rectangles. We're going to multiply that by the 3 pieces in each rectangle. That's where I'm getting my 3 from. And that is giving us 18. Okay, so we go through those steps and we can see that 6 divided by 1/3 equals 6 times 3 equals 18. Okay, so Erica, we see here, has 18 1/3 size sandwich pieces. Now the only thing we did is we took each section, or each submarine sandwich, we know was divided up into thirds, and we took 3 representing those thirds and multiplied it by the 6 submarine sandwiches that we had in total within our problem. Now let's take a look at this problem. We have Roberto on, this is the problem on page 344. It says Roberto is cutting 3 blueberry pies into halves to give to his neighbors. How many neighbors will get a 1 size pie piece? Okay, so the first thing we need to figure out is what do I need to find? Okay, so we can see that we need to find the number of neighbors that will get a 1/2 size pie piece. It's right here within the question. Now what information are we going to use? Let's take a look at that question. So what information do I need to use? We need to use the size of each piece of pie and the number of pies. Okay, so the number of pies will be 3. The size of each pie will be a 1/2 size pie piece. I want you to write this all down on page 344. Now finally, how will I use the information? We can see here that we can draw a diagram to organize the information from the problem. Then we can use the diagram to find the number of neighbors that will get a 1/2 size pie piece. So I want you to draw this diagram with me. Okay, now since Roberto is cutting 3 pies, okay, my diagram needs to show 3 circles. So let's do that together. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful circles here, okay, representing the 3 pies. Okay, now the next thing we need to do, we need to divide each of the 3 circles into halves. Why 3 circles into halves? Because we know that each neighbor is getting a 1/2 size pie piece. Okay, and so we can just divide each of these right in half. 1, 2, 3 pies cut in half. Now remember the information that we need to find. We need to find the number of neighbors that will get a 1/2 size pie piece. Okay, so we can see that 3 divided into 1/2, or I should say divided by 1/2, equals 3 times 2. Okay, so you can see that we have 2 halves for each piece. The total amount of pieces, we can take that 2, multiply it by 3, equaling, let's write this down, equaling 6. Okay, so to answer our question, so how many neighbors will get a 1/2 size pie piece? 6 neighbors will get a 1/2 size pie piece. Okay, I want you to do the share and show problem all by yourself. I want you to read through it. I want you to draw a diagram and then answer all the questions that are right here on this page. And when you're finished, you can press play. I will have the answers for you. So pause the video now. Okay, so we can see the answer that we have. The chef has 21/4 pound pieces of butter. We can see that 4 pieces with 5 blocks of butter. We had 5 times 4, going to give us that answer of 20. Now the what if question, 3 blocks of butter and cut the blocks into thirds. Okay, so you can see basically it would be 9. We would erase all of these here and then erase these, so we just have 3 sections in each. Okay, and we can see, get this back here, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, we could take 3 times 3, giving us 9 for the what if question. Okay, I want you to complete the on your own section. Now you can choose a strategy that we have on page 346, and when you're finished with this problem, you can press play and I will have the answer for you. So pause the video now. Okay, you can see the answer for this problem, $6.95. Now let's go to that test prep problem. I want you to work through this problem all by yourself. When you're finished, you can press play and I will have the answer for you. So pause the video now. Okay, the answer is letter B. And moving to the essential question, how can the strategy draw diagram help you solve division problems by writing a multiplication sentence? So you can see the possible answer for this essential question. And this concludes the video about this topic. If you have any questions about using multiplication to help you solve division problems with fractions, please come and see me.